But the struggle that we're facing within this modern and contemporary world is that it appears to me that nowadays spiritual living has become a lost dimension. For the fact of the matter is, people are not interested in being close to God, having a relationship with God, meditating, conversating, communicating with Him on a daily basis. And perhaps this is why so many of our lives are now spiritually shipwrecked. This is why so many of us are walking around with life in a major jam, experiencing spiritual immaturity, operating in weak faith, fear, confusion, deficits, and defeat. It's simply because we, the believers in God and the followers of God, are failing to live a spiritual lifestyle. We're failing to portray what we profess, and it's got a whole lot of us in a great big mess. Are y'all praying with me in here? I discovered that whenever we church folk arrive to the church on Sunday morning, the place where we really ought to feel the presence of God, the place where we ought to be growing in God, worshiping God, praising God, we come in with our spiritual cups empty, and we act like we don't even know or recognize God in this place. So I help me preaching here today. And the fact is, our cups are empty and not full simply because all week long we have not acknowledged God. We haven't prayed to God. We haven't thanked God. We haven't read the Word of God or even acted like we even needed God in our life. Are y'all praying with me in here? I need to pause there and put a quarter in the meeting to let y'all know that's why some of y'all show up in here sitting like knots on a log on Sunday. Come in here with no praise on the outside, no worship on the inside, no joy in your heart, and no Jesus on your mind. It's simply because your cups are straight empty. I know I'm going to help me preach in here. But how can we ever expect God to fill our cups and let them overflow if we don't seek Him to put anything in it on Monday through Saturday? Are y'all with me here? The fact is, it shouldn't take us till Sunday morning to get our cups full up.